Hello everyone, I'm Pop Maestro. I've made the 28 years later maps and I'm now working on the sequel campaign 29 years later. A month ago I posted the teaser art, there it is, of the first map. The first map is now basically all complete. It's been tested by a couple of people, including my Chinese translator who was kindly translating the map for us. So the Chinese and English map translations will be out at the same time. They will actually be in the same map file as well, so depending on what language you have your game set to, whether it's English, Chinese, it will automatically set all of the text in the map to that language. If you select any other language than English or Chinese, it will still be English. So yeah, that will be hopefully out in December. Before Christmas. I'm hoping by then the developers will release an update to the editor, so you can play this in all the glory of an update from the editor, which I'll obviously update if it happens. So anyway, I'm rambling on about that map, so let's look at what I wanted to show you, which is the template for the maps we do building stuff. So the first map's a hero map, much like the first map of 28 years later. Hopefully you find it a lot more fun. It lasts about 10-15 minutes. It kind of bridges the gap between the two campaigns, so yeah, it'll be quite interesting. Note this is a bug which the developers will hopefully fix soon, this text. Anyway, so yeah, 29 years later, command center template. Great name. And also you can become a follower of the Magic Badger on Steam. A few years ago actually, the Magic Badger has obviously been around since the dawn of time, and he has a group on Steam which me and a few of my Steam friends are part of, and amazingly some fans of 28 years later have found it and have joined. I don't know how you do that, if you can figure out how to join the group. Follow the Magic Badger if you so wish. Right, without further ado, let's have a quick look at, so what I've been working on is the custom menu. So this will be featuring in all of the maps with a command center, which is the majority. So not much to see apart from here. So currently, obviously this is all a work in progress, the text and everything is just largely placeholder to kind of map everything out. So okay, in the custom menu you have these different options. I'll go through them one by one quickly. So the first thing is directives. So from here there's a number of different directives, or you can kind of call them policies or whatever you like, which you can implement, which have sort of positive and negative effects. So for example, drafting, you can let's have a look. You can force workers from other colonies to work on the front line, so it gains you workers, but you lose morale. So morale is a new thing in the 29 years later series. So let's look at morale. So the greater the morale, effectively will lead to some kind of positive effects. Negative morale will have consequences. So the morale of the colony is currently 0. Morale carries over to the next map. So there will be other things which carry over in the maps. I'm not planning to have in map 24, which will be the last map, to have like 12 questions at the start like there was in phase 12. But morale will kind of carry over to each map, to the final map. And in the final map as well, it will change the ending. So the ending will kind of really decide on your morale of the colony. I'm kind of playing around with morality, which kind of the good and evil kind of aspect, but currently I'm going with morale. So there will be other things that carry over through the maps, but it won't be quite as much as the last campaign. I'm trying to streamline it a bit. So, which is the whole point of this menu. So you can obviously just play the game and never even touch this menu if you don't want to. Some of these things are just lots of text. So there was sort of complaints in the original series. Some people loved the text and the lore, some people don't like it. So it's kind of all optional now. So if we go to drafting, so drafting can be activated numerous times. So some of these things such as efficiency, which reduces the energy used per house, but also reduces morale. Obviously, because people will probably get cold and can't use their TVs or whatever they do in their huts. So this is a one-off thing. You kind of activate efficiency once, and it's permanently there. It will kind of disappear from this list. You won't be able to deactivate efficiency because that's the current plan, because I don't want you to kind of abuse the morale, so I don't want you to turn it on and off. So currently if you activate efficiency, that will be permanent. So it's kind of beneficial to activate it, I guess, at the start of the map, so you kind of gain it throughout, but there will be events throughout the map which you will find, as well as random events that will pop up, which will kind of be based on your morale. So you don't want to activate all of these at the start as such, because then your colony will be very unhappy and there will be consequences. So it'll be a bit of a balancing act, especially for me, and hopefully some people I get to test the maps to make sure this all works out, but shouldn't be anything too significant. I don't want to make any of this kind of too empowering. All of these things are just currently kind of placeholders, they're just kind of early ideas. So let's go ahead and activate drafting. So workers will arrive from surrounding colonies in the next 24 to 36 hours. Morale has suffered. Oh, there's a mistake there. Has suffered as a result of this action. So trying to keep it realistic, and again from you kind of abusing it as such. So there's a bit of a delay. It's kind of realistic, as in the colonists or the workers from the colonies will have to travel to your current colony. So again, this might vary on each map. So that's it for now. There's some good things. So you could activate drafting and then offset it. Say later on you want to gain some morale back, so you could have a celebration or a holiday, which cost stuff. So usually you get a positive kind of resource and minus morale, and then if you get minus resource you then get plus morale. So it's kind of offsetting. There might be times when you know, you got tons of golden workers and you think, you know what, I'm going to get some morale, whereas you might suddenly need some soldiers. This one would be an instant effect where 2 workers become 2 soldiers, so about the cost of morale. So yeah, bit of a trade-off, added kind of element to every map. Every map will have its own kind of unique gameplay kind of element, but this is kind of in every map. So send colonists away from the front line to a dry break, but we don't have enough resources, so we can't activate that. So we activated drafting, so we gain 8 workers in 24 to 36 hours. But our morale is now -1. So it's sad, people. We'll also add a place where you can view all the ones you've activated. Moving on to advisors. So again, this is completely optional, but just thought I'd offer a way to offer some tips to the player. Domain and Unity you will be introduced to. Currently they just meow, but you will be introduced to who they are. They kind of offer different tactics. Domain tends to be more aggressive, whilst Unity is a bit more kind of peaceful kind of tips, less kind of aggressive. So a couple of different ways of offering tips. And there will also be different advisors on different maps. So these are your current 2, but in other maps there's different advisors. Another option is Barter. So it's kind of there's been some very good trade mechanics, especially in Joe Kirk's Wings of the Phoenix and Survival Plus, which you must check out. Check out those maps as well as the Labour campaign on the Steam Workshop whilst you wait for 29 years later, or indeed replay 28 years later and play it for the first time. But anyway, a little plug in there for some maps if you're needing something to do. Barter, I'm going for something a bit different. So you don't, so you got the market if you want to buy and sell goods from the other colonies. Bartering is, as you can see here, you're kind of exchanging goods. So Kirkwall will require wood in exchange for iron. So Kirkwall, if you remember, there's no trees on the Orkney Islands, which is where Kirkwall is. So, but they have lots of iron. So it kind of plays on the lore a bit as well. So Kirkwall will require wood in exchange for iron. As it says here, please note that resources from your colony are removed immediately, that there will be a transportation delay before the traded resources arrive. So Kirkwall, again, there might be different options here. Currently this is just obviously a test. So trade 50 wood for 10 iron. We don't currently have 50 wood. However...
are there other units to bother?
Some wood here.
Roger that.
So, let's go back to Kirkwall. Trade 50 wood for 10 iron. Let's agree to that. So your wood will arrive within the next 24 to 36 hours. You've immediately lost the wood, as that's removed from your colony on its way to Kirkwall, and your iron is on its way.
What?
I have actually expedited this, so it will arrive within the next 3 hours. Hopefully.
Yes!
There we go. Iron has arrived, my lords. So that's obviously expedited.
You ordered,
take a bit longer,
you pay.
So you can use the iron for, use the market, for an instant kind of buy and sell like you normally would, but this kind of offers a different way. So say you have a massive amount of wood, you can, if you're willing to wait, you can get a better deal by bartering. So objectives, obviously just a summary of the objectives. These will be the objectives for map 2, which will have these 4 control towers. If you're not sure what a control tower is, go play 28 years later, or you can check the next thing, which is the archive. So if you haven't played 28 years later forever, or for a long time, obviously it's been, it'll be a year since 28 years later was first released by the time the first maps of 29 years later come out, so I appreciate people won't be quite clued up on everything, and also these new elements will be added. So in the first map you'll be introduced to the Voice and the Union, so you can kind of, if you say you want to skip the first map, you're not interested in that one, and you play this one, you can kind of get a quick recap of anything you might have missed. It does make sense, so the Tempest, the new colonies, etc. So the magic badges on there as well. It's very mysterious. Obviously that will be expanded on, but I just thought I'd show that. And then that's it. So around as you've seen is that. So yeah, I just want to show you these sort of 6 different options. Yeah, which should hopefully add something to every map. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble on, and see you next month.